Oh, man. Where you at? There we go. Okay, I'm ready. So here we are again, having our current hysterical, infuriating conversation about our lives as vagina having organisms.
All content made up on the spot, but probably researched-ish.
At least,
No,
it's loosely fact-checked.
We fact-check pretty well.
We do our like.
What is this?
What is this? What is this?
What are you in for? Welcome to My Vagina is a place for us to, talk about our vaginas and explore sexual taboos, push boundaries, counter stereotypes, expose the fucking patriarchy.
Fuck the patriarchy.
While focusing on sex education through laughter.
We have super interesting perspectives about just...
Because we have vaginas.
Yeah, we are very aware of the fact that we are two white women sitting here speaking about our own experiences, and that we are not trying to erase the experiences of other people by assuming that ours should be considered the universal norms as opposed to white men. This is just our unique perspectives as white women going through the world, and we're hoping as time goes on, we can have special guests and other people come on. We can really start expanding that worldview and incorporating a lot of other different experiences, because that's really important to us. What we're doing, really, in my mind, is like we go through a world where everything is written by, for, and about white men, and we're just like, that's not the story. That's not the whole story, actually.
Right.
Like, here's our story. So our takes on everything is unique and different and, like, not written about in history books and all this other shit. And so, like, yeah, you can talk about, like, that chair, but that chair was built for a 6-foot tall man.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I'm 5'3". So that chair was not built to accommodate me in any kind of way.
Right.
So we can just, like, talk about all of these things that we're not the focus of anything. And so we're like, no, shut up and focus on us. Woo! I should have picked a better example than a chair, but I went with it. I think it came out okay.
I'm into it.
Make this about the patriarchy. I'll make that chair about the patriarchy. Just watch. Ask me about cars.
Almost anything about the patriarchy.
Totally.
I pushed the button on the Xerox 914. I make perfect copies of whatever my boss needs by just turning a knob and pushing a button.
I'm going to talk about who we are.
Yeah.
What you're in for. Sorry. All right, I'll go first.
Yeah, do it.
I wrote a list. I'm really proud of it. I'm Jesse Karen. I like talking about vaginas. Pugs make me squeal like a lost kid in a mall. I have a slight obsession with dinosaurs. Slight.
Such bullshit. She's obsessed with that.
Shut the fuck up. Small.
Where is your Stegosaurus backpack?
Shut your mouth. I am mostly proud of how many places I have traveled. I once fist bumped a monkey in Africa, and I have a picture to prove it, so don't test me. I mostly enjoy making people laugh, and I'm not proud that it is mostly through fart jokes.
I think more people need to understand that farts are hilarious.
They're hilarious.
So funny.
Box wine is classy. I don't care what my mom says. I have two guitars, but I don't know how to play them. Sometimes I still have to remind myself that misogynist starts with miso, like the soup.
That's a really good trick. I have a really hard time spelling that word.
I do too. I always want to put it MYSO.
Yeah.
And my roommates have banned me from using glitter, which I maintain is totalitarianism.
I mean, it's the herpes of the craft world. However, I would just like to add right here that even though allegedly Jesse doesn't use glitter, when we went on a road trip, fucking confetti stars would just like appear everywhere that we went. And I don't know where she was hiding them.
Okay, Rebekah, who are you?
Who are you? Hi. Waving at you.
Oh, hey, girl, hey.
Hey. Hi.
When'd you get here?
I let myself in. I am Rebekah Frank. That's Rebekah.
Her.
That's Rebekah with a K-A-H. Shit is Old Testament. My middle name is Esther, which is my Papa's mom's name. And I used to hate it so much.
Papa Smurf.
So when I graduated from high school, I told the principal not to read my middle name when he gave me my diploma, and Papa didn't speak to me for a week.
Aww.
It was really sad.
Aww.
Yeah. That's why I have these stars here, though. Got my star tattoo.
Aww.
Because Esther means star in Hebrew. It's like, of course, whatever.
What?
Yeah,
That's
anyway.
so cute.
Yeah, blah, blah.
I love it.
I'm a writer. So you can check my shit out at franklyrebekah.com.
Do it.
Frankly, Rebekah
She knows
with
better than you.
K-A-H, where I've been writing about bird shit and sexism and ferrets since 2010.
Did you say ferrets?
Sure did. Yeah, I wrote a whole post about ferrets. The guy who's,
I haven't seen it.
I
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, the guy who's the leader of the Rights for Ferret Society in New York City. True story.
Oh, I did read that one.
Like comments on my thing every year or so, which is just so fucking bonkers. I also like running.
Made it.
Yeah, exactly. David from the Ferrets Rights Society of New York City.
Fuck David.
Some bullshit like that. That guy's an asshole. I also like running, traveling, gymnastics, and my cats, except for when Clark shits in the tub out of spite.
Reed does it too.
She doesn't shit. Well, no, she had a stomach ache that day. She did it out of spite. She wasn't feeling good.
Now we know who the favorite is. I'm telling Clark.
He already knows. He's such a dick.
Let's talk about beef curtains. Except I kind of hate the terminology for beef curtains because it's against everything that I believe in. And it's basically what we're going to talk about today, which is vulva shame. Researching all of this really made my brain hurt. It's important to show the diversity of vulvas. And again, I want to explain because I feel like people confuse vulva and vagina very often. And so I repeat this through a lot of my videos, and I will continue to repeat it here because I think a lot of people wouldn't even be able to tell you what a vulva is. And so your vulva is your external genitals. It's everything that you can see. It's the clitoris, the clitoral hood, it's your urethra, and the entrance to your vagina. Yes, there are two holes. And then there's the labia minora, which is what I want to talk about today. And they're all different shapes and sizes. Think about it. Half the population has them, but can you, if I asked anybody out there right now to just draw a vulva, could you do it? Because we can all draw a dick.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Everyone can draw a dick, but can you just quickly draw a vulva?
Couldn't.
Right. I can because I do it all the time.
Yeah, she does a lot of vulva drawing. We literally, so just as a small little aside when we're on here, is that we went into a wine store and there was a notebook opened and I was like, Jessy, go. And it was just it's just what happens. If there's any writing utensil and a draw uponable surface, fucking vulva's all up in that. All up in that shit.
I opened my computer at a bar the other day because I was trying to research, and the labiaplasty was up, and there was just vulvas everywhere. And I had this moment where I hovered over it like I was watching porn.
Yeah.
and then I was like, why am I ashamed of this? But also I kind of understand because any genitals while people are eating dinner was a little I was like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, totally.
So I wasn't necessarily ashamed, but I wasn't a nice restaurant. If I had dicks
this,
all over it, I was like,
this maybe isn't the time.
Yeah.
No, I get that.
There are times. Well, there's not having realistic versions of a vulva is just, I think, extremely detrimental to our society and to young girls growing up with the societal pressure that we all already have. And worse, pressure from a partner to cut off a sensitive part of your body that's because it's deemed more pleasant for someone's dick to enter it.
Yeah, for somebody else. And because people don't like the way it looks. There is a spectrum of what fits into normal. It's the same thing as we think about, just general body shaming, that we have such a narrow idea of what something should look like, and anything outside of that is somehow gross. Young women, before they've even come into sexual maturity, because it takes a while, because we're repressed for so long from talking about things and experiencing things, and we're shamed for wanting to have sex and all this other stuff.
Right.
And so to think that people alter this part of them before they've even figured out, before they've really even been able to be in control of their own pleasure and feel pride in their own pleasure, then they never get to experience that.
Right. And I know that it's empowering for women that they can change something that they don't like about themselves, but I feel like maybe the definition of that is still determined by masculine norms of what looks good.
Yeah, absolutely.
We also all kind of grow up with the exposure as a I guess especially young boys, especially their developing adolescent mind to pornographic or prepubescent females with or as I guess we've heard, any vulva.